Hi, Veronica Kennedy here, and we're going to discuss the top 4 most critical areas of LinkedIn that really do make a difference. What makes LinkedIn so special? It is a professional platform. It's not Facebook, it's not a catch-all for content. It really is where people put their attention on professional relationships and sharing professional content and really either establishing trust, and that generally occurs through the contact with the face. Social media does augment our personal relationships, and that's done through communication, authentic communication, and our first impressions when we see someone's face. We want that to be a professional picture. So I really can't emphasize enough the importance of this, and studies have shown this is the first place that people's eyes are drawn to when they visit your profile. And how often people visit your profile? Ted Prodromou of LinkedIn Accelerator has found that people will look you up as much as 85%. They're engaged with online and LinkedIn, so that can be for a follow-up after meeting you at an event. It could be after an interview. Particularly important to have a quality LinkedIn professional profile that is complete. And we're going to discuss that in a minute, but moving on to the second most important real estate on your LinkedIn profile is your name. And as far as using any kind of symbols or accolades after your name, it can be frowned upon. However, the more acceptable ones are a doctorate or an MBA. A lot of certifications are not recognized here. Some HR designations are. So for something that is widely accepted and recognizable, it is acceptable to put this next to your name. However, but don't use this namespace for your tagline. It's actually a violation of LinkedIn rules and can get pinged for it or even have your account shut down. So that's what the area underneath is for. Now, a lot of people use this for their job description. If you're an accountant, people will put down an accountant, but what this really is you're arguably, after your name, the most valuable real estate on your profile. This is what people look at first to really see what you do, and here's how you differentiate yourself with your differentiated value add statement. Don't just state what you do, state what makes you unique or different, or emphasize a deliverable. So for example, if you do accounting but you really focus on helping people with their taxes, or you really assist service-based entrepreneurs, this is an excellent area for here. And I do play or test different taglines. So the one I'm running right here, this is a key area for keywords. So people who are looking for a differentiated value with web design want to understand a little bit more about how I offer this in my web design packages. So I make a description of what you can expect with web design with me, and how I connect it to lead generation marketing, which is really, it's relationships. It's emphasizing and making it easy for people to see you, notice you, and engage with you and trust you. That's what really, that's what relationship marketing is about. And I have a couple of techniques for that I integrate with my online packages. So that's why I emphasize those two things here in the value added differentiating statement. And I do like to put enough information there that helps people have an idea, or perhaps be intrigued enough where they're willing to continue to read further. I do want to call your attention to a different way or a different test of how this works. And so we'll look at Ted Prodromou's section, and you'll notice right away, real friendly, smiling, approachable, professional headshot. He's not at a barbecue, he's wearing a suit, or he's presenting. So this is a great example, and obviously, and then we dress, here he does use a designation that's recognized in his field, the CPCC, and then his differentiated value. He does occasionally change this up, and right now he's really emphasizing how he can help people with their LinkedIn for credibility, brand recognition, and relationship development. So I really like how he uses this space he doesn't just say, hey, I'm a LinkedIn coach, although he is. It's just one of the areas he emphasizes how it can really help people, and it's catchy. It's different from what everybody else is saying. If you do a search under, we brought up an example of accountant earlier, you're not going to see what makes people different unless they make an effort to tell you. Another advantage of LinkedIn is it's going to show people similar. So people also viewed people like Ted Prodromou. And in this example, we're using his account because I'm logged into my account. So it's not going to show people like me when I'm logged into my own account. But were you to visit Veronica Kennedy, it would show you other people who have similar web design or online marketing skills and are offering that to their clients. And here it really tells you some differentiated values. These are some high-level clients. Perry Marshall, it's a very recognized name, as is Viveka von Rosen. So, and obviously Ted Prodromou is up there with them. So you'll notice how they really differentiate themselves in their real estate, which is the value add statement. Here, I mean, Viveka says she's a Forbes top 20 most influential. We have Bryn Tillman. She was featured in Ted's social media magazine, and she really says what she does. It really helps you understand and encourages people to read the summary. Which brings to let's first address the third most critical area of LinkedIn, and that is the background photo. This can often be a very underutilized space. A lot of LinkedIn users have not caught on to really using the space to brand themselves. You could have a very professional background. Obviously, Ted does a really nice job with this because it's not just his picture. He's up on stage. He's a speaker as well. LinkedIn background with what he's known for helping people with, and America's leading coach. He's got his brand he's got his logo in the background. So that's something here. This shows that I'm a presenter, and I presented to a large crowd of professional females. And I could probably add my logo up here to even accentuate more credibility with this real estate. So to cover the three, we've covered the first three, which is initially your profile picture, your name, then your differentiated value statement, your background, and then finally we're going to get to the fourth most critical area of LinkedIn, and that is your summary. An excellent tip that Ted Prodromou covers in LinkedIn Accelerator training, which I've already noticed a difference on, is the summary. Do not use this space to reiterate your resume. Use that in your job description. So when people scroll down, here's where you really emphasize your accomplishments, what you have to offer, and what you've done. The summary tells your story, and that makes people interested in you. When they're checking out your profile, they want to know about you, what differentiates you, why should I work with you, why are you in the field that you're in, especially if you've had a career change. Here's really your opportunity to initiate that conversation with the visitor of your LinkedIn profile, share your story, personalize that experience where they can really get a feel for who you are. And if you were to be visiting my profile, you would have the opportunity to hear my story. Not too long, but I basically share a little summary of what I do, and then I go into my story. And I've already had really good response, as opposed to when I was using the space to accentuate my accomplishments, reiterate my specialties. I wasn't really getting the engagement or showing that people who were visiting my profile, when they message me, I can tell that they've looked at my summary based on some of the things they reference in our communication. So it's really a prime real estate area, and most people don't scroll past this stage. The first four areas they visit in LinkedIn, especially if they're running searches, it's a real quick assessment, and only if those four areas are complete and engaging will they bother to continue to scroll down and take the time to read more. So if you really want to leverage your professional connections, and ideally you do have a complete profile on LinkedIn, though one way to really play around with LinkedIn and notice how many profiles, either, especially that first part, don't even have putting their best feature forward with a professional picture. Even if you only do these four things, you already stand out professionally, and it encourages people to further engage with you and read further on to get to know you and really establish those relationships with people who basically qualify themselves, and that's how you can leverage the power of LinkedIn to really nurture and develop those relationships. Let me know if you have any questions regarding these four sessions, and you can reach out to me at Veronica@Kennedy Consulting, or visit veronicakennedy.com. Thank you. Hi, this is Veronica Kennedy, Certified LinkedIn for Business Coach, and today we're covering how to use LinkedIn to connect and identify your ideal prospects. Now, most small business, we're out there marketing to not just share our message and brand and credibility, but really connect with the people who we're a fit to be able to help. But how many of us are really using LinkedIn for this very purpose, and we can do it in about under 10 minutes a day? So real quick, let's go ahead and visit how to do that. One thing that really does help when you're using this feature is if you don't already have a completed LinkedIn profile, it really does emphasize your credibility and encourage professionals to want to connect with you. LinkedIn is so powerful because it really is the only social media platform that is really strictly devoted to business relationships and professional updates and content and achievements. It's not Facebook. It's not going to be that fun, cool picture of you in your sunglasses, with your cat. Which is great for personal relationships, but for putting your best foot forward professionally, the social media platform that truly meets this best is still LinkedIn. And so when people visit your profile, and actually Ted Prodermo discovered that following a connection at a networking event or potentially applying for a job, as high as 85% of professionals will look you up online, and that includes checking out your LinkedIn profile. So a way to differentiate yourself, we cover in the first video the 4 most critical areas, and then once you have this supporting your marketing efforts, you really want to reach out and grow these connections. There's lots of great reasons to do that. It really enhances your visibility. You're connected with someone, particularly an influencer. You trade recommendations. It just gets all that visibility that they also received from their LinkedIn profile. That's the viral nature of using social media. It really extends not just your relationships, but your outreach as to who sees your content and the updates and who you engage with. When you connect with someone, you can also ask for an introduction to someone else. You can ask for recommendations, give recommendations, and it's also a great way to keep in touch. I mean, you've got a business card that's wallowing in your desk drawer and you've been meaning to give them a call and follow up. You can first check in on LinkedIn and see if there's a birthday to congratulate them for, or a 5-year anniversary, or a new article that they posted. And now you have that. You've taken the time and the interest to see what they're doing professionally. You might even have something in common, like volunteering at a charity for dogs, for example. That's real popular in Colorado. So it's just a great way to leverage and nurture your connections on LinkedIn. If you're not already doing this, let's say in my case, I offer web design and marketing for small business to really attract attention. So the purpose for being online is to enhance that online credibility, your branding, your message outreach, and be found and connect with your ideal client. So if you don't currently have a system that's working for you to achieve that, here's one of the things that I do to help. So we'll go and do a quick search for small business. And here's just an example of how you can do this for your business. Ask yourself, who are my ideal clients? Who are the people that I really like to work with? Do I really cater to chiropractors or to dentists or to estheticians, to service-based entrepreneurs, or do I really help product-based? So when you think about that, you can do a search and you can either reach out to the people you're already connected with, because obviously this yielded a very large search just based on people who have small business on their LinkedIn profile. But you can start out, if you already are connected with someone, your first connections, you already share a connection, you can send them a message. You might find a way in their profile that you've identified that you can help them really personalize this message. One caution I do want to quickly add, LinkedIn does have spam protection, and you want to treat LinkedIn. There's kind of a tendency on social media with online marketing, just spam a group of people and see who responds. You really want to make sure that you're differentiating yourself by providing real conversations and real value And you can still use format or some kind of template that you slightly customize, but you do want to make those connections as one-on-one as possible to really encourage that engagement and build and qualify relationships that are real. So with that said, we'll move right along. We can also do second connections for business owners, and that means we're not connected yet. Now, when LinkedIn notices that you're active on LinkedIn, that people aren't marking your connections as spam, they're much less likely to do that when you personalize the message. It does give you the opportunity to connect with them in one click. There's a limit to how many you can connect with in a day, but you can cover quite a few. So it's an opportunity where, let's say I had some history or background with ADP and I really wanted to connect with a sales recruiter. I would want to personalize that message. And the reason why is, let's just say I hit connect and they don't respond because maybe they receive a lot of them and they can't really tell why I invited them to connect. They don't want to get spam. They're more protective of their profile. Any of those reasons that can happen when you just send the auto connect responder. I don't actually have a way to reach out to them again. LinkedIn protects their account. I can't just go back to their account and then personalize the message later. So if you're going to send that invitation to connect, if you're just growing your connections, it's fine to do this and just hit the connect button when you see a reason to connect, but you're not going to personalize every single message. That's okay. But if it's someone that you really want to help them understand the reason why you're a good connection for them, instead of just clicking connect, you can actually right click if you're using a PC. Visit their profile first. And this actually, so this is kind of funny. This would make a really cute Facebook picture. It does look like with the background, it could have been a professional picture. She looks surprised, kind of happy. It's kind of cute. I'd like to see an emphasis on a more professional picture, but it is a good headshot. I do get a feel for her. She's not doing very much with her background. So she's a sales recruiter. So maybe she does sales training. Maybe she trains other recruiters underneath her. Talent acquisition business partner. I would have to drill down a little further to see what she really emphasizes the value of ADP. I'd like to see her emphasize her differentiated value more if I'm visiting her profile. Here she does sort of explain what she's looking for. So here's some of the things that people glean when they visit your profile. If I want to connect with her, I can also ask Whitney to introduce us since we share a connection. In a lot of cases, sometimes I'll invite somebody to connect just because we'll share as many as 50 connections. So it just makes sense because we obviously share a lot of the same circles and connections. But back to this profile, we want to connect. We can hit right click. There is a way to do this and personalize the message so that I don't want to send her an email because you've got to pay for that, and it is giving me the opportunity to connect with her. I'm going to hit connect. And then from her profile, two things will happen. One, it shows that I visited her profile. I didn't just send an invitation to connect. The one-click connect button does not mean that you've actually visited their profile, and the odds of them connecting with you increase substantially once they see you've taken the time to actually visit their profile. So that twofold shows that you visited their profile, and now you have the opportunity to write. You're limited by how many characters, but you can definitely get in a good 5 to 7 sentences and personalize this. Here you can, for example, if I have a background with ADP, I could pick a reason why we do know each other or should know each other, and it will send the invitation with the customization. On your mobile, since most people use LinkedIn on mobile, at the very top, you'll see a very small button on the top of your app. It will show ... This is an awesome feature. If you haven't noticed this or checked this out on LinkedIn before, when you're visiting a profile, you can just click that ... at the very upper right of the app, and right from there, it will let you personalize your invitation, and you don't even have to fill in all this extra time, spending time investing information in the personalized invitation. So that gives you the opportunity to personalize your connection and visit their profile. If you do just find some possible fits, but you're not going to personalize everyone, you can send an invitation to connect. So we've reviewed how to do searches, how to refine searches. You can use the advanced feature to distill down even further. LinkedIn is going to be making some changes here as to what you can access in advanced search. They were bought by Microsoft, and I think they're migrating some of their features over to the paid accounts for the power users who really spend the time using these features on LinkedIn. There's a lot of people that never use a search on LinkedIn, let alone the advanced features, so I think they're streamlining it to be as easy to use and as simple as possible. But you'll still have plenty of opportunities to do your keyword search, to connect to groups or first or second connections, and to distill down to your area, your location, and company, which still provides many opportunities to identify people that you want to be connected to and how you can send an invitation to connect and even personalize it. I'm Veronica Kennedy. Thanks for tuning in.